Welcome to What's in the Bag, where we give the voice to the voiceless and we let you say whatever is on your mind. My name is Marvina and I am your host.
Why you frozen? You frozen. She froze. I told her she was lagging. Somebody said, nah, it's not mine. Yeah. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another segment of Early Morning Coffee with Marvina. Good morning, Looney. I see you. Say Burnett Banks. Good morning. Good morning. I am so excited this morning, but I'm going to tell y'all, you know the devil is a lie. The devil is a lie. He's trying to interrupt this segment.
You better say it.
Right, he is. He's trying, but we ain't going to let him. We got to wait. I guess having some issues. We were in here, and let me tell you, I believe that our generation still trying to figure out these iPhones and these Android phones. It's like hard to get these mugs to understand that we gonna get there, but we're waiting on our guests. But meanwhile, in this morning, I want to let y'all know I am having some hazelnut coffee by Kroger's again, because I like it, and it's some hazelnut by Daily Light creamer in here. And I thought with this segment I'll go with my little tumbler, because I just know that it's gonna be a lot of coffee drinking through this segment. And now this morning we have with us my BFF Eva. What's up, girl? Tell everybody what's in your cup and all that good stuff. Let me see if I can get
Good morning. I am drinking my 8 o'clock original coffee with hazelnut, sugar-free hazelnut. Tried a different brand of coffee, the coffee that's sold Ollie's. I can't think of the name of it right offhand, but it's just it didn't do it for me. It was effective. I bought the 85, but it's just not. And then I also have some.
Look at you.
No, it's not getting it. It's weak. It's weak. I tried it. Then I have some Starbucks that puts hair on your chest. When I tell you, oh my God, it's a rich French roast. I haven't been able to really get into that, but I do want to give a shout out to the people who have been sending Marvina and myself coffee. So I go ahead and say this: if it is a coffee brand,
you are cutting off. I told you the devil is a lie. This enemy is trying to get. Look, she cutting off. No, ma'am, your stuff is cutting off. It's cut. Your video is cutting off. Nobody heard what you said. Good morning. Good morning. Turn that around. Yvonne, your video is freezing up.
I know I'm getting ready to make a change.
Good morning. Well, y'all, I don't know what's going on this morning. I don't think I believe the devil is a lie.
It's Restream. It's the software that we're using. Yeah, it's Restream. It's the software that we're using.
We're gonna blame it on Restream this morning, because even hello, Lana.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, all we see is dark black. Why is that?
You see, in the dark, in the closet.
In the dark.
There
right,
she
here we
go.
go.
There you
That's
go.
right. There she is.
I told y'all the devil is a lie. I didn't even really get a chance to tell y'all, right? You know, I am grateful for this guest. On a serious note, this young lady, I'm gonna call her young lady because we both still young. This young lady, I was raised up. We was raised
What
up.
you trying to say?
Well, we were raised up in the same church. My father passed. Pastor Grayson was the pastor of the church, and I just know her as a kid, and her story. I don't know anything about it, but I know that just in the title alone, you're gonna get what you're gonna get something out of it. I'm excited because she decided to empty her bag on what's in the bag, and I want y'all to just give her a welcome. Send some love. If you feel that there's some questions or anything that really we need to talk about, please bring comment. Let them know. Let us know what's going on. But anyway, and Lana,
Yeah.
girl, how are you? What's in your cup? You got a cup right there. What's in your cup, girl?
Co- Coffee.
Okay, she said coffee, just some coffee. Well, anyway, she's gonna let them know, girl, what's in your bag. We gonna see and listen to you tell what's in your bag, girl.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So I am a drug addict. 6 years clean and sober was September the 22nd of 2020. So I would like to begin where and where it took me to and now. I want to say I started using like maybe the mid 2000s, like maybe 20. Um, I I, I liked, and it took me for a long ride. Um, I've done a lot of drug rehabs. I do have some clean time under my belt. Because life was involved. Um, uh, really bad crack cocaine user. Experienced too much with the heroin because I seen the physical that it took other people through, so I didn't myself. So cocaine and alcohol are my two drugs of choice. Alcohol is what really really long haul. I've been clean from cocaine since the year of 2000. I went into a drug rehab. DIFUS ordered. I did what I needed to do to get DIFUS out of my life. I stayed clean, I want to say, for many years because I had a positive person in my life that helped me through the I then again started to use alcohol. Alcohol is really what took me down. Meaning, I'm saying some things now that my mother don't even know. My children were with family members, but I was sleeping in someone's garage. I would get up every morning and go to a friend's house, get dressed, whatever, start my day. I used to sell drugs, but I was my big so then again, and I want to say, yeah, 2015, I went into the hospital kidney infection. Um, the kidney infection, stayed in the hospital for a few days. And even after coming to the hospital with the kidney infection, took all my medication because right after my medication, I began to drink again. And in 2015, I want to say like 2012, I continued to drink for the next 4 years. The train station in Elizabeth was my favorite. I would go every morning to hit the liquor store to sit there with my so-called friends to do what I do. Um, so I did just a little bit of jail time because of cash. One thing I want to do say today is I thank God for a praying mother, a praying church. I want to say my church and my mom, they prayed me into recovery. I could remember it in Elizabeth this day, and I was at the train station, and I was drinking. A little young girl that I was with, she was also an alcoholic, and to go to the courthouse for something, and something just came up there, and I said, "This is it. I cannot do this anymore. Life is going nowhere fast." I called my dad. I need money because I'm going to another rehab. The money, went and got my clothes and everything. The next day, my brother Michael me to Turning Point. This is in 2016. Took me to and there I began my journey of recovery, which was September the 20th. And it's crazy to say I wasn't until it was sober that I realized that I took my last drink on my deceased birthday. So that's another thing for me. Keep going. Even though she's not here, she's still smiling down on me right now, looking child after it all. So I started September the 21st of 2016. I haven't had I have a sponsor that I utilize. I have a home. And so when I sit and I look at where I was using drugs, drinking alcohol, not eating, my children emotionally, only physically, now, because they want to know why. And so the only thing is I tried it, I liked it, and it took me on a whirlwind. What I can say today is we serve a mighty God. I am a manager of a $1 billion corporation. And sometimes I just sit and I just look, I with safe keys, you know, with thousands and thousands in it. I get to run, supervise people where the drugs are supervising me on a daily basis. I have people in my life that care because using and doing what I did. Those wasn't friends. They were just I thank God for my everyday living, because without me here, I would be nothing, and I just think I wake up every morning and I say, God is your son. That is my daily saying. Not my will, yours. Let it be done. And so every day, and I do what I do when I children, and they just look at me sometimes and they say to me, because most of them on my job smoke weed. Yeah, no, I do not get high. Well, why are you so happy all the time? Because I have no reason to be sad. I have no reason to be sad today because God took me from the street to Him, you and I wouldn't trade my life right now for nothing else in the world. For nothing else in the world would I trade my life for every day, and I ain't got to worry about having liquor or beer or anything, just to function. I don't have to wake up every morning and throw up because I don't have alcohol in my system. Thank God for where I'm at today, and if it's anything that I shared today, I'm glad that it did. But I thank God for my life today, and like I said over again, I thank God for a praying church and a praying mom. Thanks for letting me share.
Oh,
Jesus.
that's
Woo.
what's up.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. I mean,
Yes.
and I know we had a few people that asked the question. I got one. What did you do to stop the habit of cocaine? I think she already said it, but do you want to, come back and reminisce or tell them if they didn't get what did you do to
Okay, so when I got sober, well, not sober, well, clean from cocaine, that's how I stopped doing that. The rehab helped me, and the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. That's what helped me. It's important a sponsor. Um, it's important to have a network of people. Um, someone that you can call and talk this. And one thing I do want to say today is I'm not gonna say the devil don't put the thought there sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But I don't have to drink or drug to to
live.
to live that way today.
Yeah.
Right.
And so what I want to say for the young lady or man or whatever that asked the question about the cocaine sponsorship, um meetings, a network of people that's trying to live the life that you're trying to live.
A sober life, a normal sober life. No drugs, no nothing.
Right.
So let me see if you have any more questions. Everyone's just thankful that you're sharing. That's why I'm getting a lot of thankful watch, I'm
open
I
and
am
honest.
openly honest, because this is not easy. I can relate, once you get caught up, it's hard to get out of that being caught. It's like a devil hold, like he's holding you. Because I know I went 4 years and it was like a hold. And then when you stop or when you finally be released, it's like, oh my God, this is how that felt again. Because you ain't come into this, you got into it.
Absolutely.
And now back out of it, you like, man,
you better say that.
I used to, this is how it felt, because you put that down and that hold was taken. I mean, I commend you. And I know one thing we do. We have praying mothers. We have praying family members that prays for us. And do you believe that's what, that background of, because we was Christian, we was Baptists, we're Christians,
right.
we're Baptists. So do you believe that was one of, I know that's not the reason, but Christ is, he has the answer to it all as far as I'm concerned. Being that you had that background of, church and having mommy and daddy taking you to church, even when we didn't want to go to church, we just in there because
Absolutely.
yes.
That foundation. That foundation.
Yeah, and then I want a lot of people say, oh, they turn to childhood drama, molestation, or happening in people's life. I had a good life.
Yeah.
I had a good life. Like, want for anything.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we did not want for anything. Even sitting up in church 4 times a day when we didn't want to, but we had the part because I look at it like the choices that I made in my life had nothing. I did it. Curiosity killed the cat.
Yeah. I feel you.
And curiosity took me out there for over 20 years. You know what I'm saying? You know what,
Ms. Lana, I'm glad that you said what you said, because a lot of times people think that you have to have went through something major in your childhood in order for you to venture down that road.
No,
but
it was my
childhood. Every demographic, if you will, it affects everybody. There is no there's no written rule that says you have to have been molested, come from an abusive family, or anything of that nature in order to get addicted to drugs and alcohol.
That's right.
And so what I want to add to, when you talk about the that too, you know what I'm saying? So like I tried, I don't know if my mother knows, demographic change too. I lived in North Carolina for a few, and so like what they say in the rooms, you take you with you. You know, in there in North Carolina, I found it there too.
Yeah,
and I got high there too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I started heroin. I started doing heroin in New Jersey, and when we got here, my husband found it, and I found it here too. So it's not like you can move it. It's just when you plant it in you, if you want it, you're gonna find it. It's coming.
You might like like-minded people gravitate towards like-minded people.
Yeah. It's It's nothing you can't change and move somewhere, and if you got a desire, you're gonna find it. You're gonna find it. That don't solve anything. You can move all over the place, but if you got a habit or addiction, you're gonna find it, and
you're gonna find it.
Yeah,
you're gonna find it. Because I know when I was in my struggles, it's like people that gravitated towards me for those very reasons. And the only way the change came about was I had to make the conscious decision to say, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. It's time for me to do something different. And then I had to start to change the people that were in my circle. I had to start to back away from those people, because in your addiction, you get ready to move to another level. You realize that you can't change other people. You can only change you. You have to start working those issues out.
Man, let me tell you, I was scared straight. I ain't gonna lie. My mama tell you, she'll tell you, I was scared straight. And the scared straight wasn't that, oh, I'm gonna lose everything. I was worried about losing my children. The thought of losing my children, I was losing my mind. I had a goal. No way I'm gonna allow a drug substance make me lose my babies. They did. I went into defects. I had to go to a recovery, but when I knew that I wouldn't have been able to put my hands on my children and raise my babies, all I ever knew how to do was be a mother. You can ask Lana can tell you all I
had everybody's baby and literally
I had somebody.
She tell me all the time.
I always took care of kids because I felt like kids need. It was like a precious need. I don't know what it was. It's mainly I love children. And when I had to go through the system and had to go through To see
It's
my kids.
and like, especially, not being racist or anything like that, because I don't know who's on the show, but when somebody that's not us
That's right. Yeah.
dictating to you can see your children.
That's
Um,
right.
um, what it is, and all these other things that come along with the diapers. It just makes you
Oh
angry.
It makes
yeah.
It
Yes.
makes you angry when you have someone outside of you know it's them, and they're in your life, and but at that moment, but the thought of still, how can you maneuver, how
That's
can you
right.
pass a
they
drug to
got
do
the
what I do?
control.
Yeah.
They got the control, and
Yeah.
that's because we have an
Absolutely.
addiction, and we
Yeah.
can't, and for them, we're unfit. We're not able to do
Yeah.
what we call a normal parent does, and then they wind up getting their hands on them. But I was, Lord
Yeah.
Jesus,
Because
I'm being
and
total honest.
and I'm glad that you brought that up too, because I know in Marvina, you know my full story there. And when defects, when they got involved in my life, the thing that irritated me the most is that you don't know me. You're not even trying to get to know me. The only thing you see is
I'm a drug addict.
I can't even say, right. I can't even say that you see that. All you know is what you see on a piece of paper.
Or what somebody told
Mhm.
you.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not getting you're
Yeah.
not taking out the time to get to know me, my situation, my circumstances, my struggles, and my concerns. And I fought like hell to at the time it was just my daughter. I fought like hell to get to no, I'm not gonna have anybody in here dictating to me about my child. I
Yes,
carried this baby.
yes.
That's why I don't understand sometimes with and I hope that people don't take this the wrong way. But like Marvina, my motivating factor was my child. I could not breathe without my child. It's like I had something was compressed in my chest and I couldn't get that full air in, because when she came into this world, all I felt was her breath coursing through me. So it was like, oh my God, I got to get this. I have to get this together. And I can't have
Yes,
somebody dictating to me
yes,
by what they see from a piece of paper, what somebody told them,
yes,
because what
yes,
somebody told them is only a glimpse, a
yes.
smidget of who
Who
they
I
think I
am.
am.
Exactly. And they don't got a clue.
Mhm.
They just know they see the circumstance. Was it the prayer that got you to the point of actually wanting to help? Because I understand you have to want help first in order to take the steps to get clean. Is that it?
Yeah,
Yes.
you're asking me that.
I guess that's your question.
Okay, you said, was it the prayer?
Yeah, I guess when you kept saying that, I'm believing that they're saying it's because you said you had a prayer mom and you had a prayer in church. So
Hmm.
I guess they're asking, was it that prayer? Was it the prayer that got you to the point of actually wanting to help? Because I understand you have to want help first in order to take the steps to get clean.
Absolutely. So on top of all of the prayer, you know, like I previously was going nowhere fast.
Mhm.
So I went to sleep up, and that was my goal for the day, to get drunk. So like the young lady said that's with you. I got sick and tired of being sick and tired. I went into the place to get help, and I've been cleaning, and I nothing or nobody will I done been through some you job situations, and the whole nine has turned me back.
Mm.
Vanette said, first you
It's
have to admit
not
that
an
you are
option for me.
yeah, if no option. I can
It's
dig
not
it.
an
Mine, it wasn't
option.
no option for
Love it.
me either. And during the timing, it's always due timing. Just because it could be shorter or longer. Some people take longer, some people take shorter. But thank
Mhm.
God we get through it. It's not easy, to have a substance abuse and trying to get off of it either, because be honest with you, becomes part of your life.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that void comes empty because you're no longer chasing that, or it's not, you don't have that feeling. So it's not always easy to just allow that void to go away. It's like a lost
Mhm.
child or a lost something because you done got attached to that feeling
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that substance. And now you got to, and a lot of times, and I'm gonna tell you my story. When I thought about getting clean, I thought about, okay, I'm gonna get clean, but I'm gonna be sick getting clean, so I'm not getting clean. I'd rather keep on doing what I'm doing. It was always a reason for me to stay attached to that drug or attached. But then I realized after I stopped doing it, I needed something to fill the void, so I ate a lot of sweets. An addict, I drank, I sweets, sugar. Picked up something else, sugar.
Mhm.
Oh, what I'm saying? So it's not like I don't know what it does to me, the same thing that the drug did or whatever, but it seems like it helped with that void. I don't know, but it does. I picked up something else, and it's sugar. So, in doing drugs and alcohol, of course, I know it's affected your family, and I'm sure you were aware of that. But would you say that the drugs and alcohol had such a hold on you that you wouldn't allow you to care enough to stop until you was actually ready?
Mm.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
That I it's but that was my life. Like, you love your family and you love your children, or whatever the case might be. To you know the show was my life. Like, I could remember times when, um you know what I'm saying, and it seemed like I would be, because Marvina, we faithful, family, especially Mike and them, and I felt like that, or not feel sick, or whatever, go drink, and then just to come into these functions a lot of times and just see the looks, oh gosh, she's been drinking again. So she's gonna
Mm.
be acting this kind of way, and just that thing. More for me, um, like, I love my family, and I did, but that was my way of living, and it's no other way to put it. That was my way of coping,
Yep. Yep.
you know. So
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't,
Yeah.
and I kind of agree with her about, well, I didn't think about my family while I was doing the drugs. I didn't start
oh
thinking
no,
about really my
none of us do. None of us
yeah,
do.
but
Yeah.
I didn't think about them. I didn't think about my family. I wasn't looking at family when I'm doing drugs. I ain't start thinking about my family until I started losing them.
Hmm.
Until
But when
I realized,
circumstances, but no,
yeah,
but when circumstances, oh, we love our family.
Yeah. Yeah.
When
We love them.
circumstances, uh huh.
Yeah. Because I know,
the
like
thing,
with me, when I stopped doing drugs, I was still drinking. And the pivotal moment for me, I love my kids. I love my kids with everything in me and then some. My kids said, my daughter and my son said to me, that was when that Just Say No campaign and all that kind of stuff was out. So look, I'm telling my age, just when that Just Say No. And I remember I was fixing me a drink, and they looked at me, and my son whispered to my daughter, and my daughter said, um, spirits is a drug. Because I never said alcohol or liquor. I always said I'm drinking some spirits. Not realizing what that really meant when I said spirits, because that's exactly what it is. And
Hmm.
they said that, and I literally ran to my room because I was embarrassed and wanted to cry. And I remember my husband said to me, what are you getting? What are you getting upset about?
mm,
He said, I know you're not getting upset with them. He said, this is you. He said, when you are ready to make a change, you're gonna make a change.
right?
And my change started then. It became where I had to really do some self-evaluation. Like, what did I want to teach my children? What did I want to, how did I want my children to be? So I had to start making some changes in me.
Love this. Read that for me, Mom.
Hold on, let me make it. Yeah, I can. Let me make this a little bit smaller. It says, we were alcoholic and couldn't manage our own lives. No human power could have relieved us of alcoholism. Only God could and would if he was sought. I agree with that.
I like that. I like that.
I agree with that.
I turn my will and my life over to God. Continue to help others on a daily basis. I can't keep what I have unless I give it away.
You better say that thing.
You know there's those rooms. You know that, right? Because if you don't give it away, of course you can't keep it. I like that.
With what God gave back to whom much is given, much is required.
Yes. Go ahead. What you saying, Lana?
I said you can't keep what God gave you. If he gave you the ability to sober life, it's okay to share it. Because
yes.
Even my managers or what higher up, they know my story because I have no shame. Because I look where I am. I have no problem with sharing my story. My an alcoholic and addict.
As y'all can see, she's sharing it with you, and she don't even know who's really watching. So
That's
she don't have a problem because she knows it's going to help someone else. We can get through. We got to get through. We have to talk about it. That's why we give a voice to the voiceless, and we let you say what is on your mind. That's
Come on now.
And that's what she's doing. I really commend anyone who can empty their bags out here because, there's some encouragers here, but I know there's some people that, are haters who really don't understand this. Mm-hmm. And if we don't give a voice to it, the addiction, losing our children, also understanding that this was way of our lives and that's the way we have to deal with it. Even for people that judges us and think that just because we went that route that we're such bad people, all those things we take to talking to you and talking out here to all of y'all. That is the one of the hardest things to do.
Yeah.
To release these things that's in your bag. And I'm okay with it because my best friend said we always gotta be naked and not ashamed. I said we always need to empty our bags because our minds is a terrible thing to waste on the stuff that doesn't really matter of the past.
Wow.
We gotta realize it's about the present and what's gonna happen in the future. Yes. Lana, you just got married, didn't you, girl?
Oh yeah, I did.
Yes, ma'am.
Congratulations. All right now.
So what?
Miss Newhead.
That's the way it go. All right. So when she says from the streets to Christ, she found somebody that she was actually equally yoked to. Christ-like. He ain't gonna let you run that far. We ain't going that far, no matter what it feels like. We might go out here and drink and smoke and all that, but he's going to use us. He's going to get the use out of us no matter how it feels and look to others.
Absolutely.
He's going to get it.
Yes.
He's going to get it.
Yes.
And for me, I'm glad that I can tell you my story because I'm tired of harnessing stuff because I'm worried about what everybody else thinks about.
Woo, you better say that thing.
Yeah, all I can do is after I tell you what that story is, all I can do is go higher because while you standing there judging me, I'm already going to the next step, and that's your story, Lana.
Yes.
That's your story. You are a manager. She's not only she went from people managing her to her managing others. Did y'all hear that?
That's right.
And that's great mind.
I have to piggyback off of something that you said, Marvina and Miss Lana, something that you said. And so I'm going to go ahead and empty out my bag this morning because I've been full with this for a couple of weeks. I've had a few people come to me and say, girl, I saw you, I saw your show and I can't believe some of the things that you talk about, some of the things that you say. I didn't even know that about you. I can't believe you put putting it out there like that. What about your friends? What about your family? I said, what about 'em? I said, if they're my friends and my family, they already know my story.
Exactly.
And I said, I have no shame.
Mhm.
One of the biggest things for me with my anger was trying to hold everything in. And when I tell you that I'm no longer holding things in, I am putting it out there because my story helps other people at times, just like other people's story helps me.
It helps
It's
everybody.
a testimony.
That's right.
It is a freeing moment. I'm
That's right.
emptying out my bag.
That's
And
right.
if you don't like what I am saying, turn it off.
Too bad. Too
Scroll on by.
bad.
And I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I am okay with it. Because
I love
the
it.
only
Someone
difference
get, I like
between
this.
you and me is that I am putting it out there and you
Yes.
keeping it in the dog. That's all I got to say.
She done left us.
Uh,
She'll be back. She done left us. I mean,
So-
I'm amazed, you know, because even though we were raised in the same church, you really don't know anybody's story. I left and moved
That's
to
right.
Georgia, and when I moved to Georgia, of course we lost contact. But see, just as time as this, I can't see you this time. Why is she not coming in? Let me see. Wait, it's not letting me bring her in. Can you hear me, Lana? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, but it's not for some reason it's not letting me come in. Go out and come back in one more time for me. One more
Okay.
time.
I may have to grab my charger.
Yeah. Oh, you
But
going
I'm sorry, I
off?
just had to go ahead and put. I had to go ahead
Yes,
and put that out there because I get people saying that to
Yes,
me.
I love it. You see this one right here? Won't God do it? Lana is walking. Yes, she is.
Yes, she is.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Oh,
she
yes,
is.
and
Right
we
back.
all is a witness to that. We all a witness to that. Let's see what she can get you in. Here she go. You sit still. You sit still.
I'm sitting.
Let me see if I can get somebody. Let's see what this one is right here. We are here to share our experience, strengths, hope, to let others know that they are not alone. And that's the truth.
Absolutely.
Lana, when you was out there, did you feel like you was alone? Did you feel different? Did you feel
No, because we like, you know, when we're in the realm of addiction, you're never you got somebody that's gonna help you destroy yourself. So you're never alone.
never
Jesus.
alone?
Wow.
Didn't feel alone either. Come to think of it, I just felt like I'm trying to figure out how not to get sick and where I can get that next hit. I didn't really feel
Absolutely.
alone. I don't
No,
think so. No, I didn't either.
because you got that, but then when all the money, when all the substance is gone, then you're alone. The realm of doing what you do, yeah, you got a lot of friends.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because
Yes.
we all do have a common denominator. We all trying to get high. I love
Right.
this.
Right.
And we've all been through something at some point in time in our lives.
So, as one of the family members of a drug and alcohol abuser, when and if they decide to get clean, how do we as the family move forward with some of the hurt and pain we endured on that journey? Oh, that's
So they have meetings for family of you know that can go and you know they go and like how they've been hurt, you know, and stuff like that. So they have meetings that people can go. You know, I didn't even go through I want to say how you call it, my intervention with my family was the looks of disgust. But then when you care about those looks, you care nothing about those looks. So I know what I know that took me into recovery was looking a mess, you know, putting on two your pants and make it look, all those crazy things that you do, and and the only hope that I could give for that person that wants to know is that they have family members, to learn how to cope with um, addicts in recovery. They have meetings for that.
And nobody understands addictions. Nobody, it's hard to get people to forgive. I'm not, they might even forgive, but they don't forget. So I believe meetings also, but people just have to we have to learn to understand that addiction is not that person. And that we do stupid stuff during addictions. Is that an excuse? No. But I'm just gonna be honest, it's the truth. That's what we do. We become these people that we're not. We do things that we shouldn't. We're trying to get at a drug or alcohol. We do things, and it's not always work. We don't worry about other people. We just doing it to get that drug, that high.
That's right.
Now, it's hard to make people forgive you. The people whomever your family members is, or whoever you did anything to do, if you, like my sister said, if you made amends with them, and you made amends with yourself, and you made amends with God, you ask for forgiveness. If you do that, and then you go to these people and they don't forgive you, it's nothing you can do anything about.
Nothing you can do.
Absolutely. So you think that I want to piggyback on with that. So my saying was, to this day, 6 years later, I'm still going through some little issues or whatever with my children. But what I say, when God forgave me, I then began to forgive myself. Amends to you, I made amends to my family, and so even if you didn't accept it, but just told me that you accepted because I did it, that's for the program suggested that I do. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, it's no longer me, it's you. Maybe you need to go see some kind of, to get you through what it is that you need to get through.
Yes.
Because you know what I'm saying? And I say all the time, when God forgave me, I then begin to forgive, to make my amends. And make them sincerely. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I and I'm gonna say again, all amended out. There's no more amends in me. I don't know what else to tell you.
Exactly.
Jesus.
Exactly. You can't you can't change people by the way they feel about you. And the sad part about it is, even when you grow out of it and you're trying to do right by yourself and move into a whole nother direction, they know who you was when you were back then. And it's hard for them to come out of that. Just because you moved on don't mean they moved on, because they stuck where they're at. We can't, now if you don't want to make amends and we can't get together and try to come to some kind of common ground, because yes, I didn't plan to hurt you. It happened because of my addiction. So now here, I'm giving you the opportunity to tell you I am wrong. I'm sorry. I'll never do it again. My sister told me amends mean I will never, not just sorry, but I'll never do it again. That's why I love to have a sister that's in the room, because she keeps me up to date and tell me these things. So yes, Noonie, I'll be listening. You make amends to them. Now, if you can't accept it and we can't try to move on, there's nothing we can do about that. You want to stay hurt. You want to stay there. I'm moving where I have to go, so I can do better. So I can treat you better. I can do things better.
That's right.
That's where it comes from. That's definitely where it's going. So if you can't, if the people that I'm sorry, things go. Sometimes when you do things, it affects others. Most of the times, when you do things, it affects others, especially when you have children and family members involved.
I had to learn that. I had to learn it because I was so focused on getting other, once I apologized, when I first started going around and apologizing to people, one person I really truly had to apologize to was my grandmother. Oh my God. And my grandmother was my world. I love my grandmother, but I was so disrespectful. And I went to her and I apologized to her. And my grandmother's love for me, she forgave me. And so that gave me the courage and strength to go to other people. But other people weren't as receptive as my grandmother. And I kept going back to her. And then I felt myself kind of spiraling out of control. But my grandmother's love, my grandmother said to me, she said, once you apologize, leave it alone. She said, you have to give them the opportunity to accept. She said, if they accept your apology, wonderful. She said, if they don't, it's okay. She said, because that is their burden. That's their issue at the moment.
Absolutely.
She said, she said, God forgave you. You went to that person and you asked them for forgiveness. And I started thinking along these lines that unforgiveness is like poison and waiting on the other person to die. Once you go to somebody and you ask them for their forgiveness and everything, people go on with their lives. And you sitting over there harboring and holding on to all of this anger, frustration, whatever. And I'm not going to say that person's forgotten what took place. They haven't forgotten, but they went to God, got that forgiveness. They forgave themselves, and they asked for forgiveness, so they're able to move on. And sometimes we got to get to a point of being able to free ourselves.
Yes, and I mean, and then the thing is, you gotta, if you gotta want it just like the person that did the abuse. You gotta want to forgive. You got to want to make this happen. And a good way to want it is to talk about it, bring it out, talk about it, communicate about it. And there's ways of doing that, not lashing out each other and this is why I'm doing this. And, that nobody hears that. But if we communicate, sometimes you need a third party in that, I don't know, but you just know that you have to want to forgive. You got to love a person enough. You got to see the need, not the fault, because that's what the Bible says.
You better say that.
You got to see the need, not the fault.
Yeah.
The need to want to love that person back to where you felt that we left off at, or whatever the issue is. You got to love each other enough. You got to love, mainly, to want it. That took me there because I know, there's people who still have issues like that. Mama went out there and now I can't get it together because mama did this. Daddy went out there, I can't get it together because daddy did this. But won't you do opposite of what,
Yeah.
Just opposite. Try something different. Come out of it.
Yeah.
And I bet you the release of relieving yourself of all of that someone else poured in you and has so much control over you that you're still stuck.
Jesus.
Come unstuck. It's the only way it can happen if you want it. And I say that. No one's making you stay there.
Yeah.
Especially if the person has came out and moving on and you still trying to figure it out. You ain't gonna never figure it out. Move on. And I'm sorry to say that, but that's the way I feel. That's most of my bad.
It's the truth. You speaking real, real, for real. That's 100. And Kilo, she said you got to keep living even without forgiveness from others. Right. God forgives all.
Love
and
that.
I agree with that. I agree with that 500%.
I'm gonna put it up here so y'all can see it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to keep living even without forgiveness from others. Mm-hmm. God forgives all.
That's right. That's deep.
We walk around worrying about the forgiveness of others. We all, we dead. I'm sorry, because everybody don't like you. I mean, they find ways. They need reasons. They just, it's not always about you. It's, they dislike something in you that they probably having issues with themselves, or they might dislike you because of what your story is, and they don't understand. Whatever, but
put this one up here that mommy put up here.
Which
You see
one?
this one right here? The beautiful thing?
Oh yeah, let me see. Is that it? No. Wait, I'm sorry. What did that say? Facebook. I know for some people it's not about forgiveness because they can forgive, but when dealing with drugs and alcoholism, things tend to repeat, and it's the repeat offense that hurts the most to say, I'm sorry, and do it again and again.
That's why it's
Well, you
called the
say,
process.
That's right.
I didn't hear what she
That's
said. What she said?
why it's called.
She said that's what's called a process.
That's.
Yeah.
I like that. That's
Look at it this way.
why
Rome was not built in a day.
I did like I want to say, and everyone I went to, my mother said for the last one, my brother, I detox program. So I've been to one detox and 3 programs. So it took my last pro went to get me to where I'm at today. So I understand what the end of the day, it's all a process. You know, you go into the rooms and you hear people 30 through 20, 30 rehabs or detox process. So no one that I know of so far in my 6 years of being clean is who a program one time and said and came back and I haven't heard it yet. So
not yet.
It's a process.
I love that. It is. It's a process. And everybody's process is not the same. And yeah, the offense it'll keep going, but you got to believe in God and pray for these people that you know they will come out, because they said either you're going to be dead, institutionalized, and what was the other one? Institutionalized, dead, and what's the other one, Noni? Put it up there. I know it's in here. This one you was talking about.
Jails, institutions.
Yeah.
The beautiful thing about it all is that you can say, I used to. All is behind me. I am pressing forward to a higher calling. So if you can't forgive me, it's all right, because Jesus did, and that's what matters.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Mommy. Yes.
Amen.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And for us Christians, that means a lot to us that Jesus did.
Yes.
You know, I don't know if, you know, we know God did, you know, God forgives us. We know, you know, when God forgives us, that's what matters the most, because what he believes in us is what matters, not what man believes.
That's right.
We have to go through a process. Maybe our process is not the process that everybody.
We didn't wake up one day and just say, I'm going to go and be a drug addict for about 10 or 15 years life together. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
It
like
just don't look like that.
Everything is a process. Rome was not built in a day. And, you know, I look at it like this. It's like putting on weight. You know, you can be the smallest thing in the world, but you sit on that weight. And then you want to lose weight. You didn't put that weight on overnight. You're not going to lose that weight overnight. It's a process. You have to take the necessary steps in order to get there, so that when you come through it, you're healthy on the other side.
You can tell everybody your testimony.
Yeah.
You know, God already knew you was going to do that, because he knew the ending before the beginning.
That's
and
right.
He was going to take whatever you did and use it for his good. And like today, that's what Lana did for us. She took what the streets had gave her and brought it back to Christ. That's what she said, so he can use her. She could tell her story to all of us, and allowing us to know that, you know, God is able.
Yeah.
He's able.
Ms. Lana, I have a question for you. I know that you said that you manage a $1 billion company. When you're at work, do you sometimes through your walk have you come across people in the workplace that you've been able to share your testimony with, see a change come about in them?
All of my employees, I call them my kids. Every last one of them.
Love it.
Yep. You showed that.
How did you do it? Yes. All my children, I call them my children on my job. All of my children, they all know. Well, how did you do it? Right.
and be such
Strength.
a good and have such a great heart. You know, and I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of people that goes through some have greater hearts than people that really don't. And I don't even know too many people who don't go through something. But when that traumatic, when you drug addiction is something where it's affecting everyone, that's traumatic. So when that happens, your heart and afterwards, and people trying to figure out how you do that. You don't look like you did that. You don't look like why.
That's right.
Yeah, I did.
And that's
To God be the glory.
I had this one scenario. He's a gas guy, and just one day, one day out of the blue, he came in to me. So he said, "Can you be my Wawa mom?" I said, "Sure." So, Monica, I asked you something. I said, "Well," he said, "Do you smoke weed, drink, or nothing?" 6 years from all my moon altering substances. So he's like, okay. So what's crazy is I had a last year before last, this girl came to. I had a sobriety gathering, and this young lady called her. I said, "Mariah, Alex wants to ask you something." He said, "Do Lana get high?" Alex, she absolutely does not. She's in recovery. And he just looked at me like, "Wow, how do you?" God.
One day at a time, 1 second at a time. That's how I do it. 1 second at a time. I love y'all. I appreciate you, Lana, for getting on here and emptying your bag. And I know a lot of people do also, because this was one of the most comments I got, and I don't even know. I mean, because we know you gave your being sincere and you emptied out your bag. We really thank you. I know everybody else there. How about you, Yvonne? I know because we relate to this.
Yeah.
We relate to this.
Yeah. This is something.
So Marvina, I'm gonna leave y'all with this. My favorite, Philippians 4:13, to all of you is, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
That's right.
Yes,
I love you, girl.
Yes.
Appreciate you. Yes, ma'am. Now, we got to get out of here because we done going over our hour, which is always good, because when the conversation is good like this and we can go over, that means we're doing our jobs, letting people know what's in their bags. And I'm loving this. I am excited for our new future, because our future is bright, right, Yvonne? So I'm asking anyone who wants to join us on Facebook. We got What's in the Bag on Facebook. Come on and join. We got some positive things going on. Also, we got the What's in the Bag directory. We're still working on the directory, but if y'all know anybody with any social media groups or and want to be part of our directory, any businesses or anything like that, DM me, DM Marvina Clay, so we can start getting that also going. We have YouTube, What's in the Bag 21. Subscribe. I'm asking y'all to get on there. Just go on and check it out and subscribe. We need some presence there. Subscribe. Subscribe. Go on What's in the Bag 21 and subscribe. And when y'all can't get on Facebook, you got What's in the Bag 21 on YouTube to look at. Also, we got
share, and subscribe.
Yes. Oh yeah. Go ahead. Say it again.
Huh?
Say it again. Say it again.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe.
That's right.
I like that. That's what everybody else say. I don't never say that, but like, share, and subscribe. I'm gonna start saying that now. And also, you'll see me on TikTok. You want a little laughter? Go ahead on TikTok. Follow me on TikTok. Well, we get ready to get out of here. Oh yeah, and remember, we got an upcoming event about Be Open. Be Open. We're coming up with Be Open. Be open to watch out for Be Open. I'm excited about that because yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
And anniversary is coming too.
Oh yeah,
our anniversary.
Anniversary coming up.
Anniversary.
What is it gonna be? 2 years?
2 years.
2 years.
2 years.
2 years.
2
I
years.
love y'all.
Hey,
I thank y'all.
let me say this to you guys really quickly. If you want to be a guest on our show,
let me turn you up. Go ahead, say it again.
If you want to be a guest on our show, you know someone who would like to be a guest on our show, DM Marvina myself, and we'll be more than happy to have you guys on. And always stay blessed, be blessed, and have a blessed day.
Love y'all. Thank y'all for coming, and thank you for sharing and being a part of What's in the Bag Early Morning Coffee. See
Yes.
y'all next time. Don't forget, put your notifications on. We got Kids Corner.
Yes.